Back live with you tonight here on In Focus, and thanks for staying on. Stellenbosch University says it will review and implement recommendations to promote inclusion at the institution. This was during a media briefing after the university received a report into racism, which was compiled independently by retired Constitutional Court Justice Sisi Khampepe. Ahmed Kaji will look at that story for us a little bit later on, and we will bring you that report. Meanwhile, the ANC Veterans League has revealed that it backs President Cyril Ramaphosa and former Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka to lead the party after the December elective conference. Their announcement follows that of the Women's League, which also backs Ramaphosa for a second term. At the weekend, the party's youth wing declared its support for former Health Minister Dr Zweli Mkhize for president. The veterans say they will champion Mlambo-Ngcuka as their preferred candidate for deputy president. 2005, the 67-year-old became South Africa's first woman deputy president when Jacob Zuma was relieved of his duties. Joining us now to elaborate on their choice is ANC Veterans League leader, Dr Snuki Zikalala. Dr. Zikalala, good evening. Good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. I'm going to get into just looking at the deputy president role because, of course, the president's role will be something that you have articulated on previously. But I want to talk about, firstly, just looking at where the Women's League, where the Veterans League, and where the Youth League are sitting. And would you say that is a healthy division within a party to be so far apart from each other in terms of who you want at the helm of leadership?
Yeah, no, it's good. It shows that there is diversity within the organization. It shows that it's not an organization that is pigeonholed. It shows that there are different views and different perspectives. And so we as veterans, we felt that it's also time for us to bring in 4 women, especially at the helm of the organization, because we believe in 50 or 51, 50, 51, 49. We believe in women. And so, as you know, that women in the country were triple oppressed, and we believe that Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka is the most competent, and she's one of the comrades who does not have skeletons in her cupboards, and she did well when she was our deputy president during the time of Comrade Thabo Mbeki.
Now, when you yourself look at it and you're saying you're prioritizing the gender parity, so 50-50 women, the Women's League also said a similar thing to say, well, it was their priority. Is that to say, as the Veterans League, you did not look at the youth component?
Well, we did look at the youth component, but we felt that at this moment, at this critical moment, when the economy is not in good shape, at this moment when the country is not united, at this moment when you know very well that the ANC is struggling to bring back its credibility in society, you need a formidable leader who will be able to ensure that we deliver on our set objectives. And of course, if you can look at the list of people that we preferred as additionals, we've got quite good, formidable young people within that group. And so we want that when we emerge out of the elective conference, we should emerge with a solid leadership that will be able to take the ANC forward. We have a credibility deficit with society, and so we need a person that society can trust, a person that will be able to garner more support for the ANC, to bring back the credibility of the ANC, to ensure that the ANC delivers on its best policies that are well researched. And that is why we need solid leaders who are committed and who are determined to ensure that we bring about changes, especially for poor black communities and the whole of South Africa.
Yeah. How best suited is the candidate for deputy presidency in terms of leadership style when it aligns to that of the President Cyril Ramaphosa? Because you're saying he should take second term, and one would say, I suppose, those two would need to complement each other in terms of how they lead.
Well, as you know, that President Cyril Ramaphosa took over is at the helm of the ANC at the time when we are affected by the Zondo Commission. The Zondo Commission has done a devastating effect in our economy. And of course, it has dented the image of the organization. And I think the wheels of justice are turning now, are turning very quickly. People are spending sleepless nights because they'll get knocks in the morning at 6 a.m. No matter how well protected and no matter how wealthy you are, but wealthy based on the loot that you took from society. And so we are happy with the progress that is made so far by President Cyril Ramaphosa. And so we needed somebody who will be able to support him in terms of implementing our economic resolutions and ensuring that the country itself and ensuring that all government departments are working as a well-oiled machinery. Comrade Phumzile did very, very well, exceptionally well. You know that during her time there was Asgisa, where she re-engineered the economy itself. The economy was starting to tick, yes, where she brought in a lot of young people into the economic hub of the organization. And so we think that with those responsibilities, she will be able to help the president who's dealing with the socio-economic issues, dealing with the issue of making sure that those who are found wanting face the law. And so also to ensure that our society is protected. As you know, no individual is safe currently in the country because the criminals are running loose. And so we need a person who will be able to be firm on the ground and make sure that those things don't happen, that the economy is thriving, that the energy mix is there, to make sure that especially black empowerment economic policies are well implemented. Comrade Phumzile steered those policies. And so we feel that she's the best candidate for that position.
All right. So you've already eliminated, of course, men because your focus is for the gender parity. So let's just look at the two. What scale do you use, for example, to weigh up the odds against Thandi Modise versus Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka for the position of Deputy President?
Well, Comrade Thandi Modise, she has done well. Of course, she's been in Parliament for so many years, and of course, she was a Premier. As you know, of Northwest, she was a Deputy Secretary General, and she was the Speaker of Parliament, and currently she's the Minister of Defence. We have faith and confidence in her, but we believe that for the seat of a Deputy President, at least you need somebody who has been there, who know exactly what to do when she gets into the office. She does not have to learn from any other person. And so we feel that Comrade Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, she's well suited for that position. It's not to say that it's made for her. No position is meant and made for an individual. And so she grew in that position. We think that she'll go in there and she'll be able to run effectively for the sake of society, because everything that we do it for the sake of society. We do it for the sake of South Africa.
Now, the Premier of the Northern Cape, Dr Zamani Soul, says that President Cyril Ramaphosa should get second term. If he doesn't get second term, if anybody else comes in there, he says the recommendations of the Zondo Commission are going to be thrown in the dustbin. You must just forget that they would be implemented. Two, we put a question, one of our journalists put a question to the current TG, who's also the acting SG, Paul Mashatile, on the findings of the Zondo Commission, saying, well, the ANC is really accused, number one, if you look at what's coming out of them. He's of the view that, no, it's not the ANC, it's individuals within the ANC, maybe, who could have been found wrong. And if they are feeling aggrieved by the outcomes of this report, they must challenge it. Now, none of those people so far have actually challenged this report in a court of law, except for making public comment. What's the view of the veterans on what will happen to the recommendations of the Zondo Commission?
No, I think Comrade Zamani Soul is telling the truth. If Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa is removed, the Zondo Commission will be thrown into a dustbin. That is why we as veterans, we still believe and trust that Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa is the most appropriate leader who will implement the Zondo Commission's reports. As I said earlier on, a number of executives who are in the state-owned enterprises are now jittery. They don't know where even to hide their cars, which were bought with stolen loot. And he's the only person currently who was able to bring in stability in terms of ensuring that we use the Zondo Commission report effectively. We root out those who were found wanting, those who stole millions and billions of rands from state coffers and that deprived poor communities from ensuring that the development is taking place in their areas. And so, of course, Comrade Paul Mashatile is correct to say it's not the ANC that is corrupt, it's individuals who are corrupt. And the ANC has policies in place that will ensure that those who are found wanting, the law must take its course immediately. And of course, they get suspended from the organization once they get charged. And so we believe that individuals who come in must be skilled, competent, ethical leaders who have the interests of saving society, not looting from state coffers. That's what we believe in.
As the Veterans League, where you're sitting right now, do you believe that money is not already being used in any way to the build-up to this conference to sway delegates to vote either way?
Well, in my branch where I am, Ward 32, I have not seen money being used, and we have not heard of money being used. But immediately, if individuals are given money to vote for a certain slate, those individuals have the right to report that matter to the police. And the police will have to take those measures to say, sorry, so it's a crime to bribe a person in this country. There's rule of law, and we as Veterans League believe in the rule of law. And so I haven't heard of money being used. And of course, as you know, Comrade Kgalema Motlanthe came with stringent rules, especially of those who are nominated, that they must have their bank details, they must make sure that their sponsors are well known, and that those monies are not monies that are stolen from the state. And so those are comrades who are ethical, who are supposed to be nominated to take those positions. And so we have not seen money. I have not seen money. And Veterans League will never accept any penny from anybody. We believe in comrades serving society well, and comrades who are committed to ensure that we root out corruption, we don't take bribes, that society gets ethical leaders who will be able to steer this country in the best way.
Dr. Snuki Zikalala, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you so much for coming on tonight, leader of the Veterans League, there, Dr. Snuki Zikalala.